Hello, welcome to Hatha Yoga. And today we're going to have a nice yoga practice. We'll do some seated work, standing work, on our back work, supine work without the flow. And we will try to hold these poses for anywhere between 4 to 5 breaths. So just know that if you can't hold something for 4 to 5 breaths, then just release and come out. It's not a big deal. Props that you might want today. I've got a couple blocks set up for me. We're going to come into warrior two and some other things from the wide leg stance today. So I've got a block on each side for those poses for me. And then I've got an extra block here for my head when we fold forward. So my head is a little bit more support. If you're kind of over 50, when you're doing the folds, if your head doesn't touch the ground naturally, it's nice to have a little bit of support in your blocks or, free things. You can also have a folded blanket there or something else that's nice and sturdy. So that's what that one's for. We will use a strap at the end of our practice. You can also use a stretchy band or a belt that will work just as well. My blanket, I'm sitting on it now, but you can also use it for knee cushion or something else. Maybe in Shavasana, when we get there, that's all we will use it for. So let's go ahead and get started. Coming to a nice, comfortable seat. Ears, shoulders, and hips are in a nice alignment as best as you can. Zipping up from the pubic bone behind the navel, belly button is in. I'm going to turn my palms up here and just invite some good positive energy of the day. And as you breathe here and begin to settle in, notice if there's anywhere that you could soften just a little bit more. So tongue, jaw, shoulders, hips. Maybe just relax the face a little bit. Good. And then from here, as I inhale, I'm going to expand that rib cage. I'm going to hold that breath at the top. Slowly release. And go in again. Big inhale and expand that rib cage. Hold. And release. Okay, let's take fingertips to the side. Palms turning up. Inhale, reach, 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 and lengthen. Touching palms together, maybe looking up there for a moment. Exhale, hands into heart center. So creating an intention for your practice. It can be anything you want. I will be giving affirmations today. These are affirmations to help with calming anxiety. So I chose that one because we're in a time of thunderstorms again, here where I am. And that energy that's in the air tends to not do well with my nervous system all the time. So things for calming anxiety. And then once you have that set, we'll inhale and reach, reach, reach. Let's get a nice side bend to the left. So I'm trying to keep shoulders and hips in alignment as I reach over. And then I'm going to use my abdominals, my obliques, my side abs here to come up. I'm going to reach up again, and we'll take that to the other side. And reach, nice stretch. And then from here, when you're ready, we'll use the oblique. We'll come up. Now, let's reach, gentle rotation. Arms are going to come down. Rolling shoulders back, maybe looking a little bit behind you. Breathe and expand the rib cage. Inhale to lift. Exhale, return. Inhale, exhale, rotate. Coming down, rolling shoulders back, looking a little bit more behind you. Lifting up, let's come back to center. We're going to take that side bend and the twist again. So side bending over. Good. You can choose to keep it light or a little bit more gentle. You can side bend deeper. You can choose to lift a little bit and opening towards the back. And then coming back to the side, engaging, coming back up, taking that back to the other side. You can keep it a little bit more gentle. You can side bend deeper, or maybe you choose to open towards the back and coming back center and moving to center and reach, and we'll rotate. Good. You might find yourself opening up a little bit more now, maybe not. It depends on your body, but breathe and expand. Always twisting from length. And try not to crank the spine. Good. Inhale to lift. Exhale center. Inhale. Exhale other side. Rolling shoulders back. Again, looking a little bit more. Maybe you can twist a little bit more this time. Maybe not. And lifting up and coming back to center. Good. Let's get into the shoulders a little bit here. So I've got my arms out, my palms are facing up. I'm just going to come into some rotation. And then from this rotation, palms up, hands to the shoulders. Good. And I'm just going to lift and lower. We're coming into a little bit of chicken wings here. And then from here, I'm going to take my elbows about shoulder height, move forward and back. When I open my elbows, I want to try to squeeze my shoulder blades together. When I bring them forward, I want to try to touch. Try to do that while keeping a long spine. Good. Now let's take that into some circles. Now always returning to the breath. Maybe the first affirmation here I'll give you is I plant seeds of peace in my mind. Let's reverse that. I plant seeds of peace in my mind. And then from here, just kind of shake that out. Let's take the hands together. So I'm kind of like this here together. And I'm pressing into my hands as I'm just kind of coming down, getting a little bit of a wrist stretch and coming up. And press, and press, and press, and press. Now I'm just going to open. I'm just going to take some rolls. Yeah. And let's reverse those rolls. Good. I've got my hand here. This is my left hand. I'm going to take my thumb on the inside. I'm going to fold. Good. Now from here, I'm just going to take that other hand and just come here. Good. Other side. Good. Now coming here. Good. And here. Good. From here, let's come to all fours, coming into some cat-cow. So if you need to cushion your knees, support the wrist, take care of your body as you need to. Good. My knees are not real happy today, so I'm going to cushion them. Good. So I'm spreading my fingers nice and wide, rooting through the knuckles of pinky, pointer, and thumb. My hips and knees are in alignment. You can have your hips a little bit, or not the hips, knees a little bit wider than the hips if you've got a cranky low back, and my tops of the feet are down. But I also want to try to have my feet and knees in alignment here. So I don't want to bring them together. I want them to be in line with my knees. My shoulders are over or slightly behind my wrists. My belly button is in. Good. Inhale. Chest is going to come forward. Pelvis is going to tilt back. Nice cow pose. Exhale. I'm pressing that floor away and rounding. Looking towards my thighs. Inhale to cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Let's do two more here. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. The last one. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Good. Now from here, just getting a little bit of a break. I'm going to take my knees as wide as my mat. They can also be together or somewhere in between. I'm going to take my arms long in front of me. If your shoulders don't want that yet, you can take your hands back by the ankles. Good. And then maybe forehead comes down. I can come to the floor, a folded blanket or a block. My belly button is still in and I'm breathing and expanding. And coming back to your intention. I plant seeds of peace in my mind. And then from here, when you're ready, come back up to all fours. Let's go ahead and continue to prep here. Let's come into a thread the needle. So reset your knees and hips. Hips are going to stay over the knees. And we'll start here with the right arm. So my right arm is going to come up. Good. I'm going to take that all the way through. Good. So again, you want that long line from crown to tail. So we're not pressing the ear into the mat. I am pressing into the left hand and left shoulder to help me with this alignment. And I'm breathing and expanding. Nice twist here. This is a little bit of a deeper twist than what we did when we were seated. I'm breathing and expanding. And when you're ready, pressing through that left hand shoulder, coming back up. Let's take that to the other side. So belly button is in. Good. I'm on all fours. Left arm's going to come out. I'm going to scoop that behind my right arm here. Good. Hips stay over the knees. I've got that long line from crown to tail. I'm pressing into my right hand and shoulder to help me with that alignment. And I'm breathing. Good. Always twisting from length, not from the compression. When you're ready, pressing hand and shoulder. Good. And we'll come up here. Good. If you need to come back and do a little bit of a roundy spine, any little movements to kind of counter some of that, feel free to go there. We're going to go right into balance challenge here, warming up the core, opposite arm and leg. We'll do this one as a little bit of a movement practice. So belly button is in nice and tight. I'm going to start by taking my left foot back. So I'm just pressing the toe in here. I'm going to let the left hip drop slightly. Good. Right arm's going to come forward. I'm pressing away with that left shoulder. Good. And then you can start to lift. You don't want to take it higher than your hip. And my belly button is in. And I'm breathing. Good. Notice what happens the longer you're here. What happens with the breath? What happens with supporting shoulder? And then we'll take that down. We'll take that to the other side. Good. The right foot's going to come back. Right hip's going to drop slightly. Left arm's going to come forward. Good. I'm pressing out of that shoulder. Then I'm going to lift. You can lift a little bit for hip height. Belly button is in. Good. I have a tendency to want to dip here a little bit, so try to come out of there. Good. We're still breathing. Good. And we'll take that down. Good. We're going to start to march here a little bit. So that means right arm, left leg comes out, and we take that down, and we switch. Good. And switch. And switch. Watch the belly. Be mindful of the back. And switch. And switch. And come down. Find a little child pose or some little break pose that your body needs. And we're going to make our way to our first downward facing dog from here. So different things for different people. Let me get us going here. So you can take your hands, a half a hands width or full hands width forward, tucking the toes, shifting back. I'm spreading my fingers nice and wide, rooting into knuckles of pinky, pointer, and thumb. I'm going to lift the knees and carefully come back. Good. Now, some people, this might not be kind to your wrists. And if that's you, you can come to your forearms here, like a dolphin pose. If forearms to the ground is too far to the ground for you, you can always take your forearm to your block here. and come up here. So this raises the body. So the lower body then it takes more of a load. So just know if you're kind of wristy or something like that, this is always a nice way to modify your downward facing dog. And even when you flow, you should still be able to use this modification most of the time. Good. So from here then, good. I'm just going to kind of bend my knees. Good. Maybe walking the dog. You can come high on the toes, dropping the heel. Choose what you need there. Good. I don't need the blocks. I'm going to move my blocks out of the way. And then I'm going to move my blanket out of the way here. Good. Just find it where you need it. Good. From your down dog. Good. Let's inhale, look forward to transition, bending the knees. Walk or step the feet forward to meet the hands. Now, once your feet get up there, it's okay if you don't touch the floor. We're all going to bend the knees a little bit, and we're just going to come into this little dangle position. So my head and neck is free. I'm still breathing. I'm going to come back to my intention. Good. So what about I choose to feel calm? I choose to feel calm. Good. Now from here, I'm going to inhale. I'm going to use my blocks here, but you don't have to use them for you if you don't need them. And I'm just going to lift and lengthen, having a nice long spine. You can also come to the thighs or the shins here. Good. And then I'm just going to let myself fold back in with a bend in the knees. Head and neck are free. Let's take that again. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Long spine, take your hands where you need to. Belly button is in here, supporting the back. And exhale, we'll bend those knees as we fold. Good. From here, good. You can lengthen the spine a little bit, but keeping a bend in the knees. Get into the feet and the glutes. Good. And we'll come all the way up to standing. Reaching up there. Exhale, hands to heart center and reconnecting. Okay. So from here, good. We're going to do that again. We're going to come down. We're going to come into a lunge. So, and let's get a little TikTok here. So I'm going to take my temple moods right here. I'm going to reach. I'm reaching tall from my feet to my fingers. My belly button is in, and I'm already feeling a little bit of an elongation in the sides of my body. And I'm just going to tip over towards my left, trying to keep shoulders and hips in alignment as best as I can. And then take it to the other side. So try not to shift the hips. Try to keep them where they are. And then let's go again. And coming back. Inhale. Exhale. I'm going to bend my knees as I take this fold, coming a block to the floor. Good. Let everything just kind of settle in. Inhale. I'm going to lift and lengthen my back halfway. Good. Hands can be on blocks or to the floor. And I'm going to step my right foot back. Good. Finding that nice lunge. And we're going to do a grounded lunge here. So I'm going to bring my blocks actually back in. Good. I'm going to ground down that right knee. Good. Blocks or hands can be right under the shoulders. My front heel is grounded. My knee is over or behind that ankle. Hip, knee, and toe are tracking forward. And my left hip is back. Good. A few more breaths here. Remember, I choose to feel calm. And find length in that torso as well. Try not to be all crowded up in here. Find your length. Press away from the floor. Use blocks to help you. And then when you're ready, good. I'm going to take my blocks a little bit more forward. I'm going to plant my hands, tucking the back toe, lifting the back knee, front foot steps back. find your downward facing dog. So again, you can be down on forearms if that's what your body needs. But whether you're on your forearms or your hands, find a good form here. Could you turn your elbows a little bit more forward? Finding a little bit more stability in the shoulders. Feet, heels don't have to touch the ground. Breathe. Good. I'm going to inhale and look forward. I'm just going to walk or step my feet forward. Good. I'm going to take a bent knee fold again. Good. I'm going to inhale to lengthen my spine a little bit. Now I'm going to step the left foot back, finding that low lunge on the other side. So I'm going to ground down that left knee. I'm going to bring my blocks in here to help me a little bit. So remember, hip, knee, and toe track forward. Knee is over or behind the ankle. Heel is grounded. Good. I'm pressing the floor away so I have length in my torso. Getting a nice hip flexor stretch on that left side now. Breathe. One more breath. Good. From here, I'm going to take my blocks more forward. I'm going to plant my hands, tucking the back toe, lifting the back knee, rooting those hands in or forearms. Find a little down dog here. So again, practice that good down dog form. Finding your breath. Are you still zipped up in that front body? We'll inhale and look forward. I'm going to bend my knees and walk or step my feet forward to meet my hands. Good. And then I'm just going to find a nice length here in my spine. Good. And then I'm going to bend my knees and coming back down. Let's do that again. Straight legs or more bendy in the knees. Do what feels good to your back and your hamstrings. Good. And coming back down. Good. With bent knees, but a long spine, get into the hips, get into the feet. Let's come all the way up, reaching, and exhale. Good. Now that we're a little bit more open in the front of the body, let's get into the rest of the body. So I'm just going to reset my blocks over here on this side. Good. I'm going to take that block in the center here. Good. And we're going to step out wide, kind of like if we were going to do a Prasarita fold, and that is what we are going to get ready to do. But I'm also going to take my block on each side of my foot so that when we open up, then I have those ready. So feet are going to start parallel to the short edges of the mat. Watch your feet. Make sure you're not kind of collapsed in here. You want to press on the outer edges, the outer edges. And you want to make sure your big toes are in alignment. Now, a nice rule of thumb, when you take your arms out to the side, ankles and wrists should be in that relative alignment. If you're more open in the hips and the legs or more flexible and you can come wider, you can certainly do that. There's not necessarily a limit there. So I'm actually going to come just a little bit wider. There we go. Very good. Let's kind of find that. We're going to zip up. Let's take a big inhale and reach. Exhale. Good. Hinge forward from the hips. We're keeping that long spine. Good. Now, when you come about halfway, hands can come to your block. They can come to the floor based on where you can reach. Good. Now, just hold this here for a moment. I'm still pressing on the outer edges of the feet. My head and neck are an extension of the spine. And I'm just breathing. I plant seeds of peace in my mind. I choose to feel calm. What about I look forward to a happy and bright future ahead? I look forward to a happy and bright future ahead. Now, from here, good. You can stay if this is all you need to do. You can also come back up to standing if you need to come out of here. But I'm going to bend my elbows. Good. And then I'm going to take my head down. Now I'm trying to keep a long torso here. And I'm not pressing my head into the block. I'm just kind of lightly touching it there. It's just giving it support. Yeah, my weight is actually in my shoulders and my feet and my legs here. And I'm just breathing through. Let the face relax. 4 to 5 breaths is all you need. And then when you're ready, pressing on the outer edges of the feet. Good. I'm going to press up out of here. Good. Different people like to come out of here in different ways. I'm going to recommend a slight bend in the knees, taking hands to the thighs and coming out that way. Good. Taking a big inhale, noticing how you feel and reach. Good. I'm going to take my arms out to the side like a goddess. I'm just going to take the chest forward a little bit here, just getting a little bit of a back bend. And reaching up. Good. From here, taking my arms out, I'm going to turn my palms behind. I'm going to bend my elbows. I'm going to let my hands rest right on the outside of the top of my hip. If you can clasp them back here, that's fine too, or maybe grabbing wrists or elbows or forearms. I'm just going to leave my hands right on the top here. And then from here, good. I'm zipping up through that front body. I'm pressing through the outer edges of the feet. And I'm going to lengthen. Good. So you can come about halfway. It's actually harder there to stay there. Or come to a nice dangle. Dangle here with a long spine. Your head is free to come back to that block if you want it. I'm letting my shoulders stay away from my ears. Breathe. And when you're ready, good. I'm going to press the outer edges of the feet. You can undo the hands and come down if you need to. Or again, micro bend. I'm going to undo my hands here and come back up. Good. From here, we're going to turn the left foot out towards the left. My right foot and leg and everything is going to turn inward. You're at a little bit of an angle here. And we'll set up for a nice warrior two. So hips, knees, and toes are tracking. Good. Remember, it's better for the back edge of the foot to be grounded than for that front knee to be bent. My front hip is going to come back just a little bit, keeping the hips where they are, turning torso only to the side. Good. Find that nice warrior two. Finding your breath. Relax the shoulders. Good. When you're ready, we're going to lengthen that front leg. Take it back. Find an exalted warrior. And I'm going to use this opportunity to really reach towards the ceiling. And I'm going to look up there. Inhale. Exhale. Come back. Find your warrior two for a moment. Good. We're going to lengthen, coming back to center. So left foot and leg are going to turn in. We're going to take that out to the other side. So right foot and leg are going to turn out. Left foot and hip are going to turn inward. So that's an inward rotation. Good. Finding the warrior two here. Good. Relaxing the shoulders. Front hip will come back. And then I'm going to turn the torso to the side and reach and breathe. Good. So strong in your feet, strong in the legs, strong muscles, strong bones. When you're ready, lengthening that front leg, take it back exalted. What about I focus my energy away from my anxiety and on my values? I focus my energy away from my anxiety and onto my values. What are your values? What do you value the most? If you're not quite sure, take an assessment on how you spend your time, how and where you spend your money. Do those line up with what you think your values are? If not, make some changes. Finding back to warrior two. Good. And coming back. Good. This foot's going to come in. Good. We're going to heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, everything in. Just kind of come into a little bit of march, just giving the legs and the hips a little bit of a break. I'm going to turn sideways here. We're going to come to a regular standing fold. So my feet are going to be about hip width apart. Good. Inhale, exhale, let the knees bend as you fold and come down. Hands can be to the blocks or to the floor. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Hands to the floor, block, shins or thighs. And exhale, bending the knees as we fold. Now with a little bit of a bend in the knee, but some length in the spine from hip to heel, engage, root engage and rise, coming all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Let's step out wide again. Good. So find your wide legged stance. Find where you need to be. Pressing through the outer edges of the feet, big toes in alignment. Good. Let's take this next fold into a twist. So from here, I'm going to fold with my hands at my waist, elbows. I'm going to take back, pressing through the outer edges of the feet, belly button is in. Fold here. Good. Try to find the length. Good. You can have that head support if you want it or need it. I don't think I really need it right now. Now pressing through the outer edges, I'm going to lift a little bit, taking my hands to the floor. Finding that nice long table. Left hand's going to come under the face, shift the hips towards the right, press into the floor, lift up out of there and open. And breathe. You spend your energy on your values, not your anxiety. And then we'll come back down, even up those hips. Good. If you want to fold center, that might be a nice counter for some people. And then we'll come back up nice and long. Right hand comes under the face, shift the hips to the left. Press away from that floor as you open to the left and breathe. And we'll take that back down. Hips back to the floor. You can fold if you'd like, and notice every time you fold, do you feel like you are folding deeper? It's okay if you're not. Take some time to get there, but I tend to fold a little bit deeper the more open I become. So from here, good. I'm going to put a little bend in the knees. I'm going to take my hands to the thighs and come back up. You can come back up in the way that's best for your body. So going back to warrior two, to the left side, turning it up. The right side, going to turn in. Good. Hitting maybe a bend in that front knee, strong through the back edge. Front hip comes back, opening that torso, reaching. Good. Let's come into an extended side angle. So really pressing through that back foot. Good. And we're going to lengthen and lengthen. Try not to change the angle in the knee here. Good. When you can come no more with a long spine, forearm can come here. A hand can come to a block if you need that. And then with that lengthened spine, we're going to open up towards the right. Now, only if you're able, once you're here and you're stable, if your knee is not over the ankle and you want to try to go there, you can. Just don't go beyond. It is a little bit harder. You can also take the arm up overhead, looking for that nice long line from fingertips to the edge of the foot. What about I choose positive and nurturing thought? I choose positive and nurturing thought. I'm going to take that arm back up, looking down at that front foot. I'm going to lengthen as I come back up. We'll take that to the other side. So left foot and everything turns in. Good. Taking that out here. Good. Find your angle on the left side. Good. And then find your warrior two. Good. Hip, knee, and toe trap. Front hip comes back. Torso opens. Good. When you're ready, pressing through that back leg. Find your length. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Try not to change the angle of the knee as you move. Forearm can come to the thigh. Hand can come to the block. Opening up. Good. Now, again, once you're stable, if it's safe for you to come a little bit deeper with that knee over the ankle, you can. Don't have to. And then if you want to take that arm up, again, finding that nice long line from fingertips to the edge of the foot. Belly button is in. Spine is long. And breathe. I choose positive and nurturing thoughts. Positive and nurturing thoughts. Good. Looking down at that front foot, arms going to come back up and we'll lift. And we'll turn in. Good. Finding warrior two, we're going to take this into a triangle. So turning out, turning the back in. Good. So we keep coming back to warrior two. Your warrior two form, where your feet and everything are, is a nice base and foundation to go into some of these other poses. So finding that nice warrior two, front hip comes back. Good. Chest is going to turn out. Strong into my feet. We'll lengthen that front leg. Careful not to hyperextend the knee. So this is a hyperextension. This is soft. You want to keep it soft. Front hip's going to come back here. Reaching, reaching, reaching. Root into the feet. Notice again, I've got a nice long spine. When I can come no more, hand can come to the thigh, the shin, a block, the floor, and we can open up. Consider a stacking of the shoulders here. Good. Now I'm a little bit more open, so I'm going to take this block down just a little bit here. Good. Front hip is still back, back hip is forward. Look up there. Find your breath. Find your intention. Looking down at that front foot, putting a bend in that front knee, coming back, finding your warrior two. Good. And we'll come back to center, turning it in, turning it out. Good. Finding where you need to be for your warrior two. Find that warrior two. Front hip comes back. When you're ready, we'll lengthen. Careful not to hyperextend. Front hip's going to come back a little bit more now. Reach, 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 reach. Long spine, strong leg. When you can come no more, take a thigh, take a shin, take the block, take a floor, and we'll open up and reach. Breathing. And breathe. And when you're ready, looking down at that front foot, putting a bend in that front knee, coming back to warrior two, and coming back up, turning back in. Good. We are going to heel toe, everything together. And then once you come together, you can just march that out just a little bit here. Good. And then we're going to come to tree pose to get our balance. You can always hold on to a wall or a sturdy piece of furniture for this one. We'll take this one in stages. So hip, knee, and toe are going to track forward here. Good. I'm going to press in. This knee is a little bit soft. My right hip, knee, and foot are going to turn out. For some of you, a little kickstand. That's where you're going to be today. You can take the foot onto the calf muscle. You can pick up and put the foot on the thigh muscle. You don't want to be on the knee joint, okay? Because then your knee won't like it. So to keep your foot up here, press heel and thigh into each other. Now, you can also hold this here. I don't like to hold it here because it makes me a little bit crooked. I can't have a tall spine. So I'm going to actually come down here today so I can have a little bit better form. So we're opening, we're zipping up. Hands can be anywhere you want them to be. Your gaze is at something that's not moving. And breathing. Now, I am open to new and wonderful challenges. I am open to new and wonderful challenges. When you've been here for about 4 to 5 breaths, we'll take that out and we'll shake out the supporting leg. Okay. Let's take that to the other side. The right leg, hip, knee, and toe track forward. This knee is going to be a little soft. What you did on the other side might not be what you do here. Hips are different, balance is different. So just kind of find what you need. So you've got your kickstand, you've got the calf, you've got the thigh. Good. And I'm going to take mine back down to the calf here. Good. I'm zipping up. I'm trying not to hang here in the hip. I want to be nice and tall. Good. So finding your breath. Belly button is in. Not press into something, but look at something that's not moving. You're open to new and wonderful challenges. New and wonderful challenges. And then when you're ready, we'll take that down and shake out this leg. Good. Let's come down to the floor. We'll do that through a little bit of a standing fold here like we've been doing. I'm just going to move my blocks out of the way. So from here, let's take a nice big inhale, exhale, bending those knees as you take it down. One more time, if you want to lift and lengthen halfway with bent knees or longer legs, do what feels good to you. And then from here, good, just carefully coming down onto the floor, and we'll come to a seat. Good. Now, from this seat, I'm going to take my left leg forward. Let me do this one at an angle. Good. So my left leg is forward. I'm going to bring my right foot in here. And you can always sit up on a blanket or something like that if you need that. Good. I want to try to have a nice tall spine. So I'm zipped up through the front body. And what are your feet doing here? So right now, my toe and foot is kind of turning inward a little bit. I don't want that. So I'm going to turn them out a little bit here, like I'm standing on that wall in front of me. You can always have support behind that knee. Let's take a big inhale and reach. Exhale, lengthening from the hips. So no benzies in the spine yet. Then you choose, are you going to stay right here with a long spine? If that's what your body needs, this is a great place to be. Or you can start to fold in a little bit here. You can grab for the foot. You can put a block here if you know you go beyond and you want a little bit more. So find your challenge. For me, it felt really good to have that long spine. So that's where I'm going to come back and stay. Breathe and expand. Now notice if your shoulders are squared off here, if one shoulder kind of wants to come back here. You want them to be even. And when you're ready, good, carefully come back out of there. Let's switch sides. So coming to this side, my right leg is gonna come forward. My left foot's gonna come in. You can sit up on a blanket or something if you need it. Good, again, avoid this foot kind of turning in here. You want it to be nice and flat, like you're standing on the wall. Good. And then from here, big inhale and reach, long spine. Good. Strong front body. As you lengthen first, you can choose to stay there, taking hands down. Or you can choose to fold in from there. Again, you can bring in that block. But again, for me, keeping this long spine feels really good. So I'm going to come back here. And squaring off the shoulders here. And when you're ready, we'll come back up. Good. We're going to come into a boat pose from here, a boat pose. So different things, different boats for different people. Good. So you can have, if you want to, what I call a docked boat, you can take your hands behind you here for support. Find a long spine though. We don't really want a boat from right here. And then you can practice taking everything up and in. My core is working really hard right here and my toes are still pressed into the floor. Okay, so there's no shame if that's where you need to be. You can do a small hover. You can come here. You can come here. Okay, you can do the same thing here. A little bit of a hover. Good. You can let go if you want to let go. I'm going to hold on today, looking forward. Belly button is in. I'm balancing on those sit bones. Trying to hold for 5 breaths. It's a hard one to do. And then when you're ready, good, coming out of there. Let's come onto our back. If you have a strap, go ahead and have that handy. And I'm just going to kind of move some of these other props out of the way. Good. From here, I'm going to roll my shoulders back. I'm going to press my arms into the back. Hips, knees, and toes are tracking in this alignment. I'm going to press into my mat with both feet, arms and shoulders for one basic bridge. Zip up that front body. Inhale, exhale, press and lift. We're still breathing. We're 4 to 5 breaths. And once you've reached your 4 to 5 breaths here, I'm going to give you an option. You can continue to stay here for another round. You can come out. I'm going to grab my strap and I'm going to take my hands around that strap, rolling my shoulders under a little bit more and reaching my hands and strap towards my feet. So I'm just opening my chest a little bit more here in this bridge for another round of breath. Now, if this isn't for you, then you don't have to go there. Some of you won't need the strap because you can beautifully and pain-free, discomfort-free, clasp the hands here, and that's okay too. And then once you've been there for 4 to 5 breaths, you can release the strap if you're using it and carefully come back down onto the floor. Taking the knees into the chest, reaching side to side. Let's go into a supine twist here. So I'm going to take the feet down. I'm going to lift my hips. I'm going to shift my hips over to my right, crossing my right leg over the left. And then I'm going to let those knees fall towards the left as I look to the right. If you need any support under the knees or the ankles, always bring that in. And when you've had your 4 to 5 breaths, good. Use your abdominals to bring the knees back in. You can always undo and come back in one leg at a time if you need to. I'm going to uncross, pressing into the feet, taking the hips back to center. Let everything kind of wiggle, wiggle, wiggle here for a moment, resetting itself. And then when you're ready, pressing into the feet, lifting the hips, shifting the hips over to the left, crossing left leg over right leg, letting those knees fall towards the right, maybe looking to the left, breathing and expanding. Another thing I like to say to myself when I'm trying to deal with anxiety is I accept myself. I accept myself. I believe in myself. I love myself. And when you're ready, head will come back to center. We'll make our way back to center with the legs. Good. And then pressing in the feet, coming back. Good. Let's get one little final stretchy here before Shavasana. I'm going to take my strap. And I'm going to take that strap around the center part of the foot. Good. We're just going to settle everything in here. I've got a strap in each hand. Good. And I'm just going to bring that back. I'm keeping a little micro bend in that knee. We do not want any pain, numbness, tingling, or burning here. When you're ready, lengthening that left leg, coming into another 45-ish degrees or a twist. So I'm just going to let that leg come across 45-ish degree. You can wiggle around and find your sweet spot here. Your knee can also be bent to do that. Or if it's safe, you can take that leg over into the twist. Keep that leg in line with the hip. Don't let the foot flop onto the floor. Support it if you need to. And we'll come back up. Good. We'll do a midair switcheroo here. Good. So a piece of a strap in each hand, micro bend the knee. Good. And we'll take that back. Breathe. And then we'll release. Good. From here, both straps into the right hand. Good. You can find that 45-ish degree arc. We can take it all the way over into the twist. Keeping that leg in line with the hip if you can. And coming back up. And release. Good. Knees into the chest. We'll go into our Shavasana from here. The last thought I'm going to give you is I am different and unique, and that is okay. I am different and unique, and that is okay. Feel free to have bent knees, long legs, any props in here that you want. Kind of settle in. Taking some deep breaths here. Choose stillness or gently take head and neck from side to side. Choose stillness or wiggling fingers and toes. Choosing stillness or taking knees into the chest. Choosing to keep the upper body grounded, or maybe you want to tuck the chin and lift it up for a full body hug. And then whenever you're ready, moving any props out of the way if you used any during your Shavasana time, taking legs long in front of you, arms long behind you, and reach and lengthen from the edge of the fingertips, the edge of the toes, full body stretch, point and flex through the feet, bend and stretch through the hands, rolling wrists and ankles in one direction, and then in the other. And then from here, whenever you're ready, carefully bend in both knees, and you choose rolling over to your right or left side, the side that works best for your body in this moment, taking all the time that you need here. And when you're ready, pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat. We started our yoga practice this morning. Hopefully a little bit more open than when we started. Taking a moment, noticing how you feel. Fingertips to the side, palms turning up. Inhale, reach, 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 and lengthen, looking up there. Exhale, hands and heart center. Coming back to the intention that you made for yourself one more time. All those wonderful affirmations. And take them to the forehead for good and true thoughts, to the lips for good and kind words, and to the heart for open and loving heart. Knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted, no gain is ever reversed. May you be safe, may you stay well, may you have a wonderful day, evening, week, month, season ahead. Namaste.